Hello and welcome back. My name is Irfan Dama and I am going to be your chef guiding you through today's menu. This year, for Christmas, I'm going to be making Cornish hen. I prefer Cornish hen to chicken, especially when I'm doing a full bird, just because the size, in my opinion, is perfect. And there's nothing like Cornish hen. I love that bird. It's just like a tiny baby version of a chicken. And quite honestly, instead of cooking one big bird for a gathering, I'd rather do two small Cornish hens. It presents so beautifully. I always prefer Cornish hen over chicken, to be very honest. I'm also going to be bringing Indian flavors to this year's holiday table, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a green chutney roasted Cornish hen. It's going to be cooked on a bed of Indian spice roasted potatoes that will be cooked in a cast iron pan, and on the side with the leftover buttermilk marinade, I'm going to be turning that into a Kadhi gravy. It's a simple menu, but it's really packed with flavor. So my friends, without any further ado, let's cook. The first thing we're going to show you is how to spatchcock a bird. What is spatchcocking? Spatchcocking is basically just taking out the backbone. We chefs, we like giving fancy names for everything, but really, it's a very simple process. However, by spatchcocking, you are able to flatten the chicken out. And when it's flattened, the exposure to heat is so much better. You get a much better caramelization, you get better browning, and it also presents so much better because you can just have half a bird on a plate. And it's so pretty that way. Now, since we're going to be working with raw poultry, I always maintain a separate cutting board just for that task. And I always recommend gloves when handling meat. The Cornish hen we're going to work with is about a pound and a half to 2 pounds, and that's the backbone that we're going to remove using a pair of poultry shears. Now in spatchcocking, you start from the area by the neck and you move down onto the other side. You work in opposite directions. It's a lot cleaner that way, and the idea is so that you can meet in the middle. That way the backbone comes off very cleanly. You cut it up into smaller pieces using your poultry shears and then take off the wingtips as well. Now do not throw these away, you're going to need this for the gravy. Next, we're going to generously dredge the bird with kosher salt. This is going to happen on both sides. Next, we're going to make the green chutney marinade. Let me show you how. Now to make the chutney, we're going to need a grinder of some sort. We start with garlic cloves peeled, followed by ginger peeled and roughly chopped. Cilantro leaves with the stem, also roughly chopped, and mint leaves with the stems removed. The stems tend to be a little bitter. This is followed by whole black peppercorns and a little bit of buttermilk just to create some sort of lubrication, kosher salt, and now to blend to a very smooth puree. Green chutney is done. In a bowl large enough to hold the entire hen, we start with the green chutney and then mix in the rest of the buttermilk. Whisk to combine. Now we introduce the bird and make sure that it is completely submerged. Plastic wrap and maintain in the refrigerator for about a day to 2 days for best results. To make the base on which we roast the hen, we're going to need to cut up some russet potatoes into 1-inch dice, skin on. We store this in water to prevent discoloration. We also need to slice up some red onion. Approximately 1/8 inch thickness is what we're looking for. Now that the bird is sitting in the marinade, our potatoes are chopped, our onions are chopped, everything is ready. We are now ready to go to the preparation stage. When starting the preparation stage, give yourself approximately an hour to an hour and a half. This is how much time it's going to take to execute this recipe. You're using gloves because you're working with raw meat. Take the bird out of the marinade and put it on a rack so that it can drain properly. Reserve this marinade, we're going to need it later for the gravy. We start with the cast iron pan, bring it to temperature, and use mustard oil, but any refined oil of your choice will do. When the oil's hot, we crackle cumin seeds, fennel seeds, and ajwain seeds, also known as carom seeds. Saute briskly, approximately 30 seconds, and now we introduce the sliced red onion. We introduce a little bit of kosher salt. This causes the moisture to come out of the onions and it helps the caramelization process go faster. And there we go, we've achieved caramelization. It's time to introduce the potatoes. Add in the potatoes, saute briskly, mix well. This is a good time to season the potatoes how you like it. Saute for about 3 to 5 minutes, turn off the heat, and the marinated hen goes right on top. Arrange it properly, right in the center. This is now ready to go into the oven that's set at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that the bird's in the oven, and it's going to take approximately 45 minutes to get there, this is the perfect time to start making the buttermilk curry gravy. So when making a curry mixture, we start with garbanzo flour and then gradually introduce the buttermilk. We want to whisk to remove all the lumps. Now that the lumps are all gone, we can slowly introduce the rest of the buttermilk marinade to this, followed by water. Now whisk and your buttermilk curry mixture is ready. We heat oil in a pan and we're going to crackle whole garam masala. Here I'm using cloves, black pepper, cinnamon, and cardamom. After a brief saute, we introduce the reserved hen carcass bits and the sliced red onions. We are looking to get deep caramelization and developing flavor. So we cover and let it go undisturbed for about 5 minutes. There you go, look at that. Just what I've been looking for. It is time to introduce the buttermilk curry mixture to the party. Now please note, this is critical information. When you get to this stage, you want to keep eyes on your curry mixture and you want to keep stirring it constantly till you get to the boiling stage. This is important, otherwise it could separate and there could be scorching. But now it is boiling, you are in the safe zone. You can reduce the heat, cover, and let it go slow cooking till it gets nice and thick. Check on it about every 5 or 7 minutes. Just look at that. The garbanzo flour has done its job. It has thickened this nicely. It is time to strain. We want to make sure we use a spatula to extract every bit of that gravy goodness. Look at that. Thick, creamy nappe. Now let's go check on the bird. See how she's doing. Oh, look at that hen. Beautiful caramelization. Let's check the temperature. Well past 165. In fact, it is so well cooked, it's actually falling apart just by picking it up. The next step is important. We have to extract the bird and let it rest under a tent of aluminum foil. This ensures the bird remains juicy. And now it's time to finish the gravy. My vessel of choice is a fondue pot. With the fondue pot and a little tea light, the gravy remains warm throughout service. So we have to bring this up to a boil and then add in the heavy cream. Whisk in and bring it back up to a boil. And now we can finish it with butter. Mix that in, simmer for a couple of minutes, turn off the heat, and whisk in our chopped assorted herbs. Here is mint and cilantro. Gravy done. Let's plate up. On a bed of the roasted potatoes, add a couple pieces of the bird and a generous dousing of the gravy. Plus, put a little more gravy on the side because gravy, and a little herb to finish and make pleasing. Look at that. There you have it. Our Christmas menu is now ready to serve. Green chutney roasted Cornish hen on a bed of Indian spice roasted potatoes and buttermilk Kadhi gravy on the side. Creamy, delicious, warming spices, just perfect for Christmas this year. Please let me know what you think of this recipe in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed, of course, please subscribe. I really appreciate this. It really helps me out a lot. This is Irfan Dama wishing you and your family a very happy Christmas, the best of the holiday season. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you then.